Assuming this is the right time and the right link for the AFJ call.
I feel that's a little suspect. Since it's just the two of us.
I didn't find anything different on the Hyperledger site, but I don't know whether any of that stuff has started to move elsewhere. I know the repos have moved, but I don't know if anything else has.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good morning, or whatever time it is, wherever you are.
So it's a tricky thing to say on these calls. Ariel, can you hear us? Are you in the call? It says you're connecting to audio still. Are you there, Ariel?
Yes, yes. I have some issues, but I think it's working now.
Good.
Let me see if I can create the page.
Did you create the agenda, Ariel, or are you hosting, or what's the idea?
Yeah, let me share the screen. I have just copied it. Paste
Cool.
it. Okay. So let's split the screen. One. I will post the link. So what do we have to discuss this week? I think mainly about this transition that took me, to be honest, it took me a little bit off guard because I didn't expect it to be to the repo to be switch to be move so fast as it did, right? So, but I have seen that the repo went smoothly to the OWF scope, let's say, in GitHub. But I don't know about other stuff that we should move as well. Like, for instance, if there is something like this in OWF, I mean the meeting notes or something.
Yeah, maybe we can walk a bit through like the move and also like the checklist Karim created.
Yes.
Just to see like, okay, we have moved. What does that mean? What do we need to do still? What will be changed?
Exactly. So, well, I will say that our agenda will be more or less like this, like it was the last week, just 2 weeks ago. It's about the moving and the 0.5 release. I don't know if anybody has anything else to add. I will look for this HackMD post you are mentioning. I think it's this one,
Yeah,
right? It's this one.
Yeah.
Checklist. I will.
Maybe also for other people in the call, the move to the Open Wallet Foundation was discussed at the last tech meeting. I think it's the Technical Advisory Council, where they voted on the proposal to move Aries JavaScript to the Open Wallet Foundation. It was accepted by everyone. They were quite excited about the project being moved. And it's actually their first growth project that they have. So a project that is already like more established rather than like a labs project or like just getting started. So that's quite nice. And the repo has already been moved to the Open Wallet Foundation, where I did that immediately after that call. And for now, it has been renamed to Agent Framework JavaScript, which is still, the name is still a bit pending, but for now we're going with that.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the current status, I think.
So yeah, the name will be it's it's really an issue, right? I don't know if anybody has anything a good naming to propose. I got some. I was thinking on some good names like with mythological characters or something, but I got like Fides or something like that, but all of them were already taken by other projects. So I'm afraid that we will finish with something like, I don't know, this agent framework JavaScript or probably, I don't know, trust framework JavaScript or something, I don't know, not so fancy. But anyway, I think we will need to, well, to agree or to have something as soon as possible, right? Have you been thinking on this, Timo, recently? Have you been inspired by something?
No, I've been fine with some of the suggestions that I've already made, like Trust Framework or Agent Framework. I think those are both fine for me.
Trust Agent Framework?
Yeah, so either Trust Framework or Trust Kit or something like that, or Agent Framework.
Trust Kit, what would be? Well, I think we will need to vote or something. I don't know. Just, or maybe we can keep the agent naming, but what about this? The package naming in npm, if we call it agent, it wouldn't be not so meaningful, right? Just agent / core.
Yeah, that's probably yeah. So we still need to figure that out.
Okay, so about the checklist, I have seen that there were some of I have seen that this one the DCA pipeline, because Karim tried to update the contributor list, but it seems that the DCA is failing. We have this have seen this problem with the indie Postgre. So I don't know. Maybe we have to fix or to merge first your PR about the indie SDK removal, so we don't have this problem with Postgre.
Yeah, it's interesting that it broke on that
Yeah,
on the
I
move.
don't-
Like, not sure what
it's-
happened there.
Yeah, it's about the
Could it be that
Postgre.
there's a different Ubuntu version being used, because we were using like larger runners in Hyperledger, and so maybe the move here like changed the base library that has been used, in which the path is different or something. I think it could be something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and also we will have this issue about the not only that, but also about what once we figure out about the naming, I guess it's about we will have in the deployment. We cannot keep publishing with the same name, right?
I think for now, on their alpha versions is fine. Until we have like a new scope set up, I think like there's no reason to stop that, right?
No, I have no problem on that, but I mean regarding the permissions that we have on this repo, because you see that this is an error that was raised when Rai added something. Yeah, something here, nothing related to the development. And I have seen that it gave him this not found error. Maybe it's because of you see.
Yeah.
Have this,
I think I'm one of the owners of that scope, and otherwise Hyperledger can also give us like invite Open Wallet as a maintainer or owner on the scope, so then we can keep publishing for now.
So we have to talk to ask Rai or someone from there to do that, or how can we do it?
I think maybe I can also do it. I'll see if I have access.
Okay. Yeah, that will be nice. So yeah.
I think we should probably look at if we can set up the same meetings, but now under the Open Wallet, and move over the Discord channels and such, and then also start updating the readmes and the naming in there. So I think, but we can probably already do like the move of the Discord and the meeting. I think that would be good. So that everything is at least under the Open Wallet Foundation, and then we can start updating the naming in the readmes and the in other parts and the package under which we release now. But I think that is a bit dependent on the name, but then we at least already have everything in one place again and under the Open Wallet Foundation.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think about the name? We have, I will say that we can set a deadline. I don't know, maybe next week or something we can have 2 or 3 candidates with trust and agent and that stuff, and then we will decide, or
Yeah, I think it would be good fun. Maybe we can put it to a vote by sharing some options and then having a form or something. And then people can then just vote on what they like.
okay.
So maintainers can vote, but also the users, and that we just pick a name that fits.
Okay, let's do it. We can polish it as a discussion maybe on GitHub and also on Discord. I think Discord is more active, right? Or in both.
Yeah.
I mean, we can post the link in both, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a link, and then we just make sure that it's every email can only vote once.
Okay. Okay. I will say that for the meetings, we can keep this the same hour. I mean, day and hour. I don't know. Do you think it's I mean, it's convenient for everyone, this one, or do you want to switch? I don't know how to set up the calls in AWS. We can simply ask, and then we will update the link, the Zoom link, and that stuff. But what I mean is that we can keep this same hour to keep.
I think for now that would be nice to keep that the same. And then we just aim to have the next meeting under like the new within the new Discord and the new meeting link, and then we'll do the transition during the coming 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's anything else about regarding this topic. All right.
Not from my side.
Yeah, so maybe we can discuss a little bit about the 0.5 release. Well, I can tell. Well, in yesterday's meeting, in the Aries working group call, there were some check-in on this stuff, right? The unqualified lead community update. The target date is for the first step is December 17, which is in 10 days, only 10 days. And well, from last meeting, we identified 3 steps we need internally on the framework. The first one was about the signature update in the exchange. So we support the 1.1, then adding the support for peer 4, and finally do the rotation. I will say that I have this one almost ready. This is part of the PR, which was named the peer 2 support for the exchange. I have just updated the comment and mark it as ready, even if I want to add a few more tests, but I will say that it's more or less ready to take a look at it. You already did it some months ago, Timo, but there are more changes. Basically, what this PR does is to support the new signature on the did rotate signature in the did exchange response, allowing us to specify not only did peer 1 dits, but also use did peer 2 on the exchange, maybe even if it will not be so useful, because we in the community we agreed that we are going to use did peer 4. It's something that it was already done, so it was easy to implement. And also have this new parameter called the our did that allows us to specify when receiving invitations to specify an externally created did. So I have to test it better. That's why I was saying that I want to add some tests. But that could allow us to use public dids for the exchange. So we can specify a peer did if we want, but also we can use a public did that we own to do this did exchange with publicly resolvable dids. That's more or less what this PR.
Does it check whether there's a service, a DIDCOM service in the DID document associated with the DID, or like how does it work? Because you need to, if you provide a DID yourself, you need to make sure that it's actually usable for creating a connection, right?
Yes. Yeah, internally what it does is to resolve it. You provide it and you and it resolve it using this module basically. And when it resolves it, it gets the services from it. This is more or less the idea.
Yeah, okay, and then it checks if it is reachable or something, or because
Yeah.
let's say I
Yeah.
have a mediator set up, then the service endpoint won't match. So would that work, or like does it just check if there's a DIDCOM service in there, or does it really check
Yes.
like if the endpoint is the same?
No, it just checks with if there is a DIDCOM service. Maybe I can I will check if how can we do that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first step. Then I will add the tier 4, which should be quite straightforward because we have everything. Then there is a library done by Daniel Bloom. Tier 4. This one, TS or something like that. I don't know where it is, but anyway, I think we can simply do the add the utility methods to create the document from peer and from the identifier, and that's it. So once we have the did before, it's just about doing the did rotation, which is also a very small protocol, but it will I think it will be a little bit tricky because we will have to make sure that we update the connection record with the new information, but also but still support for some time the older details. So I don't know if it will be very easy to implement, but we'll see.
Yeah, because we would need to support like did pair 4, but also be able to retrieve it as a did pair 2 did, or how does that work exactly? What should it do?
Well, actually, the did rotate protocol, I will look at it. Okay, sorry. I will look at it. I think it's already, yes, it's already merged yesterday. Well, the did rotate protocol doesn't specify. It doesn't need exactly to use did peer for. You can rotate to a different did, even if it's in using the same algo than the previous one. This is quite nice because it's useful, for instance, when if you need to change your mediator or whatever, or not only the mediator but also the keys or whatever, you can simply use this one. But the issue is that when you do the rotation to a new did, you have still to support receiving messages from the previous one. Actually, you will receive the acknowledge, I think, on the previous one, because it may happen that you are sending the did rotate and the other party didn't receive it yet, so it's sending you messages to the previous one. So
Yeah, okay, so basically until you receive the ACK, it's still the old did that should be
Yes.
used. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe we can set it on like metadata on the record, so we don't update the did field until we have received the acknowledgement.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Maybe we can use that. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, in terms of messages, it's quite simple. It just it only has two messages: the rotate and the hang up, which is used to delete a to terminate a connection. In this case, we are not waiting for the acknowledge. We are just deleting the connection from from the sender side. So,
Interesting. I didn't know they added it to this because there's an abandoned connection protocol, I think, that never
yes,
was really adopted.
Exactly. Yes, that one wasn't released. Actually, what I proposed at that moment was to use something similar within this very protocol, to simply use the null here, a null did here, to indicate that we are going to terminate. This is what they do in didconv2 as well. But I think it was better to do this way in order to not interfere with this flow. I think I don't know.
Makes sense.
But it's okay. It's just adding another message and that's it. So yeah.
Yeah, I like the for how simple it is and how much it offers, because it allows you to rotate to new DIDs, which means you can do key rotation for DIDCOM connections once in a while. You can change your mediator and inform it. You can upgrade to new DID methods when they come out. You can upgrade to new DIDCOM versions. So it's actually quite a lot what you get for quite a simple protocol.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's magical. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's all from this part. Regarding this part, the message pickup v2 live mouse support, we are testing it. What we have done, I have it's still on the on draft, but I did some new commits with some fixes, and we are testing it with what we are doing internally is to have a few instances of AFJ, and we are using a MongoDB for storing the messages, and we are using something like Redis has for notifying the instances about the the new messages that arise. For the moment, it's working good. I expect to have some news for the next meeting, so we can have it. I would like to do a demo and then that stuff regarding this, but it's quite. I'm quite confident that we will have it for the 0.5 without problems. It's about
Cool.
it is for those who are not aware about this topic. It's about allowing to have a common message queue for pickup for message pickup on the mediators that is shared among different AFJ instances. So we can scale up a mediator. Well, each of those instances has their own connections with WebSocket connections with their clients, and then, but any of them can receive messages for any of the clients. So they will add all pickup messages to this common queue, and the common queue will notify the instances about that a new message has arrived, and the one who is interested in that will forward to the connected client, right? So this is more or less how it works.
Did you implement that already in your MongoDB implementation? Like the multi-instance notification between instances?
At the moment, what we are using is something similar that you have mentioned that you are, I mean, in the issue about that we are using for notifications. We are using also a Redis channel, but our developer is what is he's doing is using some plugin or something for Mongo to do more or less the same thing. Honestly, I don't know about the details of that, but the idea is that you can the custom message repository class can subscribe to the to changes of only on the clients it's connected to. But yeah, in terms of storage, the messages are stored in a MongoDB. We are using
so you have implemented it in the message repository in this PR. You have added methods to subscribe, and that you need to implement in your interface then, or
yeah, you have to do it. It's up to each implementation. Actually, what this what the agent provides now it's about we have this we have events from the pickup module that are triggered when live mode sessions are added or removed. So in your custom message repository class, you have to catch those events and subscribe or unsubscribe to your Redis channel, depending on what live sessions are in the agent. Or if you wish, you can also subscribe to any change in the message queue in your message queue, and query the agent for the if there is any live mode session for that connection ID as also. I don't know if it's clear. I guess it's not clear, right?
it makes sense, yeah. And is the sending of messages then still the responsibility of your custom message handler, or is that taken care of by the framework. So let's say I implement an interface that does the Redis binding to do the notifications. And so basically what it would need is a way to subscribe to something and a way to publish that a message has been received for a specific connection. And the other parts could be handled by the framework. For example, if it has a WebSocket connection open, does it do that sending also if it has a WebSocket open, or is that still the responsibility to do of the user?
Well, I will see if I can show in the. I define some modes for pickup. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry that it's been a while since I work on it, and I already I already forgot about what I did. But it's we have a mode, I think we have QE. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. We have this message forwarding strategy where when the agent, when a mediator receives a forward message, there are three options. One of them is only to queue, I mean to add it to the pickup repository, and then it will be a responsibility of the class to do the delivery, or to ask the framework for the delivery. We have this deliver only, which is the same strategy that we have now, which is about sending it immediately if there is a WebSocket connected. And we have this queue and deliver. What does it mean? Queue and deliver means that we will always adding it to the queue. I mean to adding to the message repository, and we will try to deliver it immediately. So if it's already, if there is a WebSocket connected, it will send it, and if not, well, it will simply with queue. So, but what does it do actually? The queue and deliver. We can see in the code. It will call the queue message. I mean, this is just to add it to the message repo, and then we'll call this deliver queue messages, which internally what it will do is to query for all the messages, and which is here actually, to query for all the messages in the queue and then send them. Of course, it will be more efficient if it will just try to send the very single message that we received, instead of querying the queue every time. But at the same time, it's more, I mean, it's safer to just query for any pending message and send it along the new one, if there is any. So that's why we are doing this right now. There are some alternatives as well. We can, for instance, queue the message with adding some state, saying that, okay, we want to queue to add the message to the queue, but say that, okay, we are going to send it immediately. So yeah, so we can have different states, but I don't know if it will be so. It will become very complex and maybe it's not worth it, but I don't know. Again, I know that I'm not clear, but I do my best.
I think it mostly makes sense.
I would like to for the next time I would like to give you some details, more graphic details, I would say, so you can understand what I meant or why I implemented it like this, right, for the moment at least. Because the issue is that I wanted to do this query before sending any message, because I guess that that the message will not be deleted from the repository until you get the how is it called, the received messages or something like that. So yeah, there can be several flows running on the same time. So that's why I wanted to simply ask every time.
Yeah. Yeah, because do we mark messages as being like delivered but not act yet?
We don't have this. We don't have this enforced within the framework. This is something that might be implemented by your message queue. I will say that we internally in our MongoDB we are adding a state. We are using I think we have 3 states. We have pending, which is when it is just queued. We have sending and acknowledged. So we are going to deliver only those messages that are in the pending state. If it's sending, we expect them to be acknowledged at a given time, and if it's not, we will put them again into the pending state after a timeout. Of course, we will have to implement also. This is something that you have added some time ago. We have to have a cache or something within the framework to know which messages we have already received. I mean, to prevent from receiving the duplicated messages.
Yeah.
Which is something that may happen when doing retries and that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we should have like safety measures on both sides to prevent sending it multiple times and prevent processing it multiple times.
Because it may happen that you deliver some messages and the agent receives them, but somehow the acknowledged couldn't be delivered. So in that case, the mediator will not know that the messages have been delivered, so it will try to resend them. Yeah, the only mechanism we have is to simply receive them again and do the acknowledge, but not process them. So you see, yeah. It's not easy. It can become very, very complex. I don't know if these protocols, these DITCOM protocols are completely covering all the cases. If we are going to have a large amount of of messages exchanged between different parties. So yeah.
Yeah, I think if we have the like the safety measures on both ends, I think it should minimize at least what can go wrong. But it can always go wrong because like when is a message like acknowledged to be delivered? Because what if the message starts processing, but then the agent is shut down during the processing? So like,
Yeah.
is it then processed or not? Or like, how do you recover from that? So then we would need to have better support for transactions within the agent first, leveraging like Oscar features so that if we like our part in processing, we don't commit any changes. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things that can still go wrong here.
Yeah. So yeah. So well, this is all from my side. I would like to, well, for the revocation, it's already merged, as we said. You made some very, very good comments, some in an issue, I think. Yeah, this the revocation notification. Because it may happen that we remove the credential exchange record after issuing a credential. So somehow we will need to know how to send a notification when we revoke it, right? So what I was thinking was to add another kind of record, which is something that I think in Akapai they do. It's a revocation record or something like that allows to keep track of the connection related to a given credential or revocation credential ID. I don't know if you have seen this comment.
Yeah. Because do you think it should be the responsibility of AFJ to store that relation?
The problem is that when you send a revocation notification, you have to know where to send that message. So how do you know that that a credential corresponds to a given connection ID? You think that when we issue a credential, we can leave the responsibility of keeping track of that to the backend that is using the AFJ. I mean, we can in the send revocation notification, we can simply get the revocation ID and the connection ID as parameter. That's what you think we should do. I have no problem.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like if you already need to store like the revocation ID, it maybe like makes sense that it's more of like you need to have the revocation ID to you need to have the revocation ID to revoke the credential in the future. However, if you also want to notify the connection of it, you also have to store the connection ID, for example. Like I could see it working like that it's more of like you need to keep this ID if you want to use it for this purpose. Mainly because otherwise we have yet another record that we need to store, which I'm not 100% sure about, but maybe it's not too bad to have another record. Just thinking.
No, but it's yeah, but it's of course it will be simpler if we just get this this as another parameter, and that's it, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, well, about the NDSDK removal, you say that it takes a lot of energy to do that, or?
Well, I think code-wise, I'm mostly there. I had to change quite some things, but I think what I was running into last time is that some of the tests for multi-tenancy that work with in the SDK just break with Aries Ascar, and maybe it has to do with some of the wrapper stuff in Aries Ascar or like whatever's happening. But like just opening 100 sessions with Ascar, well, it doesn't really like that, and it just breaks some weird things. So. Yeah, that's a bit of the issue I'm having right now, and it's also not like consistent in how many sessions it can handle. But if I lower the number of sessions, it works. So this feels more like a Ascar problem, but yeah, it breaks on the multi-tenancy test because we are opening a lot of different sessions there. Yeah, so we need to look into that. It could be because the tests are running with SQLite and there's a max number of connections it can have to the database. But I think because we're using one store only, and with the one store, we can have a couple of connections in each session. I think I'm not 100% sure if multiple sessions can reuse it, and I think it might be that the problem is there because I know Akapai also had the issue at one point where they could get into a deadlock state, which is they had more like long running sessions in their code base, and then basically in the scope of a session they would open another session, and that session couldn't open because there were other sessions open, and for that session to open, another session would have to be closed. But that would never happen because the session would only be closed if it got past that code. And I think there might be some issues here also with like having too many sessions open, and because we basically open 100 sessions, and I'm not sure how it exactly works with connection pooling and that kind of stuff. But we could fix it for now by just lowering the amount, but I don't know.
But do you think that using Postgre instead of SQLite for the multi-tenancy test could also help?
I don't know. Kim, you had your hand raised?
Oh, I was gonna bring up a unrelated point and realized it wasn't relative. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it will work with Postgres, or we can increase the number of connections with SQLite that are allowed. Yeah, maybe I can ask Andrew also exactly how that works. Yeah, because we don't like, we should probably update our logic because that's how Oscar is intended to be used anyway, to have a lot more short-lived sessions, because currently we open a session. Yeah, we open a session whenever we create an agent context, and then we close the session when we close the agent context. And I have a PR locally already, which is because we're having some issues with that in our deployments, because sometimes like a database resets, for example, if you keep it like connected indefinitely, and then Ascar won't handle that very well. And it more expects like a session to be used for a short time, then to be closed, and then like under the hood, it will still use connection pooling and reuse the connection, but on a higher level, it expects the sessions to be used more shortly. And I think that's something that could also help here, because then if you open 100 tenant sessions, they would just like in rapid succession, like open, they get a session assigned, do a small thing, then another tenant can use it. So I think that's maybe also something that could solve it. So I'll look into it, but maybe we can increase the connections for now, or decrease the number of sessions to get at least the test working for now. And then I will, I need to address that other PR that I have drafted locally to work like correctly with Ascar sessions.
Okay, yeah, I think it makes sense.
Hey, Timo, one of the other
Yeah.
things that we ran into into with the Python layer with sessions was the Python code was waiting for garbage collection to close the sessions. And so that's something to keep an eye on in the JavaScript code as well. We had to fix it so that the Python close explicitly closed the session before the garbage collection happened.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think we're in the one I'm doing locally, we're now doing it explicitly, but we were thinking of using like a new JavaScript feature where you have like a new keyword that would do the session, the closing handling for you. So I'll look into that, because that's probably using like the Python custom like async enter, async exit calls or something, or
Yeah, it had to do with they were creating an object and then waiting for the object's destructor to be called before the session was closed. And under load, that caused problems long term. I'm not sure if it's related, but I thought I'd mention it here that sometimes the garbage collection languages can run into a problem if you're expecting the session to be cleaned up during garbage collection.
yeah, no, that's useful to know. Thanks. I'll definitely take that into account.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we are out of time, but just a question for you, Timo, regarding this OpenID for VC. I have seen a tweet from you that you were very happy that it was already done in AOSHA, but I don't know if, I mean, that you succeed to finish some stuff. So I don't know if, do you think it will be ready for the 0.5?
Let's see. We don't have to hold it up, I think, because otherwise we'll just do a 0.6 soon. So I think the other ones are probably more important, like the wrapper versions, because we still we have it working, but we still need to wait for a lot of like PRs to be merged and released in Sverion's library. So that could take a while also to have stable versions for all those packages from OpenID for VC we depend on.
Okay, well, let's see, as you say. Okay, so I think it's all. Let's see if we can find a good name, and well, we talk in 2 weeks.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.